Satish and Soumya, and upline coach is Satish and Lavanya. So today I will be talking about the importance of case studies in our day-to-day life. So and how actually it helped me, how it changed my self-image and the significance of it. So, case studies in general, first of all, I would like to talk about like what happens. Like when we are born, our mind is just like a jar with clear water. And as we grow up with all the things going around from society, from family, so the jar keeps on getting some of the other impurities. So over the period of time, our mind is so much full of junk and impurities that we cannot see clear through, or the thing is we are so much cluttered that it becomes for very difficult for us to think in a proper way or have a proper mindset or have a proper self image. So what happens with by listening to these case studies is like every day we are pouring some clean water in it, like this is a new knowledge, and talk about new things about people's experience, and how people are building this business, how they are successful, what hurdles they faced during while they build this business. And apart from that, there are other very small things which actually help a lot. If we see at a 50,000 feet video view, then these things will seem like these are like very small things, but in actual thing it has a very great impact on our day to day lives and the way we change ourselves. So what happens that when every day we are listening to the case studies, it is filling that jar full of impurity with the clear water. And over the period of time, what happens that that dirty water in that jar, it gets cleaned slowly. And over the period of time, even if some impurity comes also, it doesn't stay for a much long time. On a nutshell, we can say that we don't get impacted by any other negative things, like let's say with this coronavirus thing, or if some problem happened in our family, or any job related issue, these things won't be able to turn you down. So this is the most important thing about the case studies on a day-to-day run. So so about some of the case studies, like each and every case studies, they will have something about okay how you should build a business, or how you should how you should tackle the problems, and what mindset you should have, or like what kind of problems people face, how to get out of it. So these case studies are like the kind of a practical thing. It is not someone is making this up, or someone is trying to frame some story or telling. These are people's own personal experiences, their own CMOS actually, and the way they are handling the problem, and apart from all these problems, the way they are coming out of it, that is the most brilliant thing and the most good thing about all these case studies that we listen to. Now each and every case studies, they will be having, they will be talking about some product, but some product, or how the business was built, or like how the problems that they faced, they were overcome. The one thing which we need to take away from the one key takeaway from the all the case studies which we can do is that we could note it down, and these practical experiences, even through our journey when we are building up this business, we will definitely get some or the other problem, either in the same way or in some different manner. But if we have these experiences with us, whatever people faced, we will be able to have some hope. Like in general, what happens that if you talk about some other businesses, people they build their business, there will be lot of issues, so you won't never know that whether they are successful or not, because generally that's their business plan, that's their business strategy. But here the thing is different. The thing is like people here talk about how they approach the problem, how they sorted it out, and that is the best thing about it. We get to see the live examples of how people who were in this business earlier than us, how they have built it, and how they managed to get through the problems. And this is the best thing about this BWW case studies that we go through. And apart from that, how it changed me. So in the starting it was really difficult for me to listen to the case studies because my work schedule was hectic and all. So then what I did is I have a habit of taking breaks every 1 and 2 hours, so for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So in that time I used to listen to the case studies, or in the morning when I used to get up, my life was completely cluttered. So what I did, in the morning hours, for let's say half an hour, I'll I will listen to a case studies. 15 minutes I'll give to reading a book, and then I'll do some exercise. So this way, slowly, my life transformed. The way I used to earlier, I used to get up and think about, okay, what's bad happening in life? Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. But from the time I started listening to the case studies, it had actually streamlined my life in a different way. So every morning when I get up, I don't take any other dirt in my mind. Rather, I listen to case studies. So these things, I'm feeding my brain with something important and something which is going to help me in this journey. So like that ways, and this first thing which I do in the morning, it completely changes the entire day. I mean, earlier my day used to be like completely hectic, and I used to be very low at my self-image. I couldn't talk to the clients, and even that was impacting my work life also. But the way I have replaced my small breaks with this case studies, and at times this also happens that even when I'm working and I'm like too much stressed out, I'll listen to this case studies. So what happens is, in one of the case studies, it was said that people need to see where are they going with the current job, and where they want to be and where they could be using this business. So what happens with me is, like, when I'm doing that job and my daily job, I see 15 years down the line I'm doing the same job, same, getting old and getting through all these things, paying EMIs, worrying about EMIs towards the end of the month. But when I listen to the case studies, my mind completely changed. Okay, this is what I am doing, and down the line, 10 years or 5 years down the line, it will have a very good impact on my life. I will be replacing my income, and I will be generating some passive source of income. And if things go good, I can even become financially independent also in a very short time. So this positive thing which happens is actually affects my day to day life, the way I take myself, the way I hold myself. And also it improves the best thing which happened to me is improve my self image. So earlier I had a very low self image. I used to be very nervous while talking to people. I am very bad at networking skills. So when I listen to the case studies, I could imagine, or I could visualize myself that one day I will also go to that stage, and I will be also talking to thousands of people. So I need to get up from that mindset that I don't have a networking skill or something, and rather focus on how do I improve it. So that's the change, that's what happened. And now the way I'm looking at things, and the way the self image that I hold now, sometimes I hesitate to talk to some people, but that 90% problem, the 90% thing is now gone. Now only just the 10% thing which is remaining. And I'm sure, while I mean, with this BWW program, with my mentor Satish and Soumya, I'm definitely sure that within a very small time I will be able to get through it. So you see, on a day-to-day basis, when you are listening to this, so you are getting not just how the idea of how to run a business, rather than you are able to visualize and see a snapshot of what you will become. And that is the most beautiful thing in here. So people, they do a lot of business. Many people, they will be in a lot of business, or they will be in a e-quadrant only, but with a good, very good salary. So they don't have that thing, they don't have that visualization or that goal which is been set in front of them, that okay, this is what you are going to have, or if you do things in a correct way, this is what you are going to achieve. But here, this case studies, this give us that clear goal. Whatever goal we have, it brings that clarity that yeah, it is possible. There are hurdles, no matter, hurdles are everywhere, but there is a way you can get past it. And the only thing is, you need to listen to them, understand, okay, what was the problem. And then, of course, everyone's problem will be different. The only thing is, which you every one of us need to emphasize on, understand what the problem was, and how to tune ourselves. Whatever the key takeaways we took from the case studies, how to tune ourselves so that we can solve our problems.
Good.
uh, yeah
Very well.
so day-to-day activities, as I told. So earlier it was like, okay, I have to listen to one case study, I have to listen to one case study. It's like kind of an activity. So but through the period of time, through the when I went through the boot camp, and after every day's work, at the end, now it has, listening to the case studies have become kind of a default setting in my life. So it's not like I have to think about that. Okay, today I have to listen one case study. It's not like that. It had become like a muscle memory. Okay, whenever in the towards the starting of the day, I'm listening to it. Towards the end of the day, I'm listening to it. And throughout my day, whenever the stress is going up, or whenever I'm taking some break, I'm listening to the case studies. So that is how my mindset completely changed. Right? Earlier, I used to wake up in the morning, think about all the worries, everything. Then again, during when I'm working, I'm thinking about the clients and all those things. All the tension used to be there in mind, and I didn't have a clarity what to do. But listening to the case studies and having that goal set clear in front of me, now I have a better picture of what I want to become in my life. And also, apart from that, one more point I would like to add about the case studies is like, case studies are kind of, our mind is kind of an axe. So if you tell me to chop a tree, I know everyone must be knowing about that, that if you get 1 hour to chop a tree, then spend at least 30 to 40 minutes, 45 minutes sharpening your axe. So case studies, it helps in that way. It helps you sharpen your mind. It helps you sharpen the axe, so that whenever, whatever problems you face, or whatever the tree you have to cut, you can cut it easily. Why? Because your axe is very sharp. Yeah.
Awesome,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Very good, Gaurav. Awesome.